Here's what we're going to do for the podcast today. We are going to do a real-time Chasta Huey catch-up because I
Okay.
just got back from New Orleans, and then you and I have not, I mean, we've texted a bunch, but we haven't
Hmm.
talked. So we
Yeah.
have lots to catch up on. I had my trip. You were with Trivium like 2 nights in a row in 2 different states or something crazy. And you have lots of, I don't know what you can say on the air, what you can't,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll
Oh,
walk
I know
through
what I could
it.
say and what I could call it. And, like, I
Okay.
already have a headline for the clip. So,
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Clip it. Hey,
clip
what's
it.
up, Dan DeLay?
Okay.
I can't fully watch today, but wanted to say hi. Oh, Dan, we love you. Thank you so much. Don't worry. It's always archived. Wherever you stop, you can start back up whenever you're not busy.
Yes,
'Cause we understand.
absolutely.
We're in the middle of a work day. That stupid work really gets in the way sometimes.
I know. Well, actually, it's kind of nice today. Yeah, we're from home. Can
Yeah.
we say that? Can we admit that publicly? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who fucking cares?
who cares? I mean, these days it doesn't matter. We get probably more done at home than we do when we're not at home. So
I got
yeah,
a
no,
lot.
it's
I got a
totally fine.
lot done. You know me. Like I kind of roll my eyes at some people who say, "Oh, I'm so busy on my time off, my vacations." Like enjoy your vacation. If you're on vacation, enjoy it. But for
Yeah.
me personally, like I got a lot of stuff done. And there's things I didn't get to. But yeah, I think I was proud of a lot of stuff I got done, and gonna be a lot of great content for the podcast in the coming weeks. So please
Thank you very
follow.
much for doing all the work that you do, because I was barely
You're
on
welcome.
social media whenever I was gone. And so every once in a while I would pop on and I would see things pop up and then I was off. We had 60 people in New Orleans, like tons of family and
Yeah.
friends. So entertaining and coordinating all those people, that's a full-time job. Like I way underestimated the need of all of the logistics.
That's what's okay. So, not to jump ahead to what I did on that same weekend,
Yeah.
but it was just funny. During the Machine Head after party, after show, after party backstage, I feel like people who were invited to your wedding that couldn't make it, we were all sitting at a table looking at photos and videos from the event. Shout out Scott Proctor. Scott and I were hanging out together. He was showing me photos Thomas sent him, and I was showing videos that your niece was posting. We were comparing notes of like, man, look how fun it is. Man, you and I could have been there. It just anyway, so yeah, just spoiler, that was just fun of like people who couldn't make it to your wedding renewal in New Orleans. Yes, at the Machine Head after party. We're sitting there watching
hilarious.
you
that
and
makes
Jay.
me happy. I mean, it really was very shitty that you weren't there and Scott wasn't there. Like that was really the people that couldn't make it, but we understood it's a big ask. Like it's a really big ask to ask people to travel to New Orleans. So we understood that people couldn't make it, and we wanted to invite so many more, but hashtag budgets. And more people came than we thought. We thought maybe like 30 would come and 60 came. So that was nuts.
So yeah, please, fill us in like the whole breakdown, how it went, because I think people who follow you on Instagram saw photos and videos that you were posting from your trip to New Orleans and kind of got an idea of the experience. And then for some people who maybe, like for me, I follow, we're friends with Mari online, our digital queen, and your niece. So I was able through, other people associated with you, got to see what happened. So maybe for some
you got
of the
like a well-rounded perspective.
Yeah, different angles, different videos. But for some of the listeners who didn't have access to that, I would love to kind of recap your whole wedding ceremony, the renewal ceremony. It looked like Cody was best man, Gianna was the MC,
officiant.
Officiant, that's the word. Yeah. And so it was just really cool. So yeah, I would love to for me, my one concern, like I said, I'm super bummed I couldn't make it. Side note, I almost got my credit card paid off now since I've been saving so much money. So
that's good. I am quite the opposite. I have enough debt for both of us now, so that's fun.
But with that being said, it was just really cool to see what was going on. I was just curious if I would have went, like I probably wouldn't have much time to hang out with you. Sounds like you were just crowded with so many family and friends there. I would have to, I would assume if I would have went, I would rely on Thomas or something to keep me entertained.
You would have been at Thomas's table for sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So long story short, I'll give you the headlines because it's a lot. But Jay and I, when we started going to New Orleans a decade ago, just a little over 10 years ago. And then 2 years ago, we bought a house there. And when we bought a house, we were like, God, one day we want to have our family and friends here to celebrate and be with us. And then we thought, oh my God, our 15th wedding wedding anniversary is right around the corner. Why wouldn't we just do that? We were going to wait till our 20 year. But then again, it's like, why wait? Like some people in our lives, they're having, not failing health, but not great health.
Yeah.
And so why take a risk at them not being able to
Yeah.
be with us? And so we're like, there's no time better than the present. So we decided, all right, we're going to do it. So we had a vow renewal ceremony, like an actual wedding in the courtyard of our home. And so we set up tables and chairs around the pool, and everybody kind of gathered there. Gianna was our officiant. And Cody walked me down the aisle and held the ring. So he was 2 jobs. And he was so excited and a little nervous. It was really cute. And so we did that. And then we surprised everybody after the ceremony with champagne and beignets. We had beignets delivered. So that was really cool.
Nice.
And 2 actual pounds of powdered sugar, like 2 pounds. It was ridiculous. There was powdered sugar everywhere. And then we did a second line parade. So second line parades are traditional, that you've got the bride and groom or whoever. You can do it for a birthday. You can do it for whatever you want. But you have the person of, that's hosting the second line parade in the front. And then you have the band right here. And then everyone follows behind, and they dance and they have little handkerchiefs that they dance with and stuff. And we did that for like 30 minutes. And I swear to God, Huey, and Jay and I both agree, that is our mental happy place. There is nothing better than dancing in the streets of New Orleans. Everybody's like stopping and taking video and taking pictures. People are yelling at you from the balcony. You literally feel like royalty. It is the wildest. It's very hard to explain. Michaela's on. Mari and I saw one for a baby shower. Yeah, you can do baby showers too. Hey, it's a very hard thing to explain. It's definitely like you had to be there to really understand that kind of energy coming at you. Is just like, it's insane. But Cody led the charge. That kid, I'm not kidding. We did that. It was like 30 minutes, I think. And that kid never stopped dancing. He was break dancing in front of the band in the middle of the streets. It was wild.
I was going to say kudos to you and Jay. I'm guessing more you for his outfit. He looked like a cool little rude boy, a ska rude boy.
That was I'm so glad you got that. Oh my God, Huey, Jay's gonna shit when he hears you say that. That was the whole idea. It was a little rude boy. Yeah. And Jay even had on the ska socks, like the checkerboard socks. There's a picture. We have a picture of them. I'm so glad you picked that up, because our photographer. Do you know Steve Rapport? Remind me if you've ever met him. He's an iconic rock and roll photographer. He used to live in the Bay Area. He used to live in Pacifica. He had a gallery here, and he's shot like David Bowie and The Boss and Joe Strummer. I'm looking at
Google here. Yeah.
Did I say David Bowie? Like, unbelievable. If you go to his website, he's literally, if you name a rock star, he has shot that rock star. Like, he was Annie Lennox's personal photographer. Like, he's done everything. And he's not a wedding photographer, but he's a good friend of ours. So I just asked him. I was like, "Hey, would you happen to shoot our vow renewal?" And he was like, "Absolutely." This guy. Okay, click through. So he's from Essex, England. And his accent is so beautiful. He's such a cool dude. That's him. Yep. So he has a gallery in New Orleans, and he's shot like a lot of the pictures that you think of, like when you think of Bowie or Annie Lennox or even Bruce Springsteen, like they're his shots. So he's an icon. And what was funny is like most people in our wedding party and like people that were there for us had no idea that this guy is that guy. You know what I mean? It was like so crazy. Like, this guy's a freaking legend, and people didn't even realize it because he's very, very chill. Anyway, my point to that is he's the one he got rude boy immediately. He's from England and he loves like ska and punk and all that. And he got that immediately. So they bonded over that. But yeah, so then we paraded down to Antoine's and had a wonderful dinner. This is cool. You're going to love this. So this room in Antoine's restaurant. So Antoine's is the oldest continually running restaurant in the country. And the room we were in is the room that they kick off Mardi Gras every year. So Mardi Gras starts in this room. It's called, and the group is called the 12th Night Revelers. So this is the 12th night room. And so we have a party there, and it has 2 big balconies overlooking, like, Bourbon Street is on the right and the Royals on the left. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. So then we have our night. Oh, by the way, the kids had a jam session. Falky and some friends of ours, little daughters, are in a band called The Daydreams, and they did a little gig at the end. They played like 3 or 4 songs. So cute. And then the next day, this gets really trippy. I don't know if did you see my social post that I posted just a little while ago, like an hour ago?
Oh yeah.
You need to pull it up in real time. We need visuals for this
Okay, you
story.
want me? Okay. See,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
thing about
Pull it
work
up in
from
real
home.
time.
I could do. I could
I
pull
know.
this.
I love this.
Okay.
So we're cleaning up the following day and we're in the room and I hear Jay has just walked into the hallway right outside the room and I just hear Jay go, "Honey." And it was like it was quiet and low and like terrified sound. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, "Oh my god, we broke something. Like, you know, we dropped a vase or something. Something happened." And I walk around the corner and I see Jay staring at the wall at
Mm-hmm.
that picture. And he's like, "What the hell? Like, what when were you here?"
So
That
that's
is a
not you.
photo. That is
Okay.
not me. That is a photo, we think from somewhere of like 1955 to 1965, roughly.
Okay.
That is the kickoff to Mardi Gras that year. And that is a woman that was hanging on the wall of the room that we were partying in.
Oh.
And she looks identical to me, especially at like 15. I posted with that photo. I posted that photo. That's me. I was about 15. I was homecoming
Okay.
queen, about 15 or 16. That picture, I mean, if you zoom in, the lips, the teeth, the little widow's peak that I have
Mm-hmm.
right here at the top of my head, identical. So we don't know who she was. There's an off chance, I mean, there's kind of a chance that it could be my grandmother. So my grandma used to go to New Orleans in the 1940s and 1950s, and she would go down there and party with her boyfriend, and he was a wealthy man, and so it's possible that they could have run in circles with people who would have been at such balls like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So it's possible it was her, but nobody in my family, my mom doesn't know about her doing that in particular. Like, it was a Twilight Zone, Back to the Future, The Shining kind of moment. Jay, and then we took a video of it, and then we showed my mom, and my mom was like triple take, and she was like, "When were you there?" I'm like, "That's not me."
Mm-hmm.
Or is it me in a different life? Like, what? I was born in 81, and that's sometime in the 50s and 60s.
So that
Isn't that
woman, you
wild?
were reincarnated, like, but looking exactly the same.
I know exactly. What are the odds? My dear friend Stephen Kirk just texted me and he's like, "This is so Chasta. Like, this is the reason you have always been connected to New Orleans. You clearly lived there before," which is so fucking wild. Excuse my language. So wild. Forget I'm not on the radio. So effing wild that I have told Jay the whole time, like, I'm sure you loved Ireland when you went. Like, lots
Yeah.
of people love places they travel, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not very frequent that you get to a place and you go, "I feel like I've lived here before. I feel like this is home." And as soon as I
Mm.
landed in New Orleans, the very first time, I was like, "I feel like I belong here," which is
Yeah.
not a normal reaction. I've traveled all over the world. I've never had that happen anywhere else but there. So now I'm like, maybe I did. Like,
That's
it's so weird.
I was gonna say, let's look at some of the comments here.
I
Cody stole the show. I'll just
He
say
did steal the show. He
Cody's
did.
new theme song is Rancid's "Time Bomb" song because it goes black coat, white shoes, black cat, Cadillac,
Cadillac,
yeah.
yeah.
He's the boy's a time bomb. Oh,
Yeah,
you need
totally. That's a
like,
great one.
what up,
I was
Casey?
laughing at one of the Casey's on. Hi, Casey. Mwah! Right back at you. I stalked his page and he did Dave Grohl too. Yes,
Oh, the
Steve Rapport has
photographer.
shot
Okay.
Dave Grohl as well. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, that's crazy. I saw that this morning and thought you posted a throwback, right, Casey?
Oh.
Isn't that weird? And Michaela said, "I'm a vampire." It's funny that you say that, Michaela, because on Instagram, somebody else, I can't remember where it was. Tacosaurus, who was our friend Lewis.
Okay.
He said, "Nice try, Chasta. That's exactly how an immortal being would try and cover their tracks." So what we're gonna do? Jay made friends with one of the what do they call it? Not the owner of Antoine's, but anyway, he
Manager.
was running our party. Yeah.
Okay.
And he made friends with them and got his cell phone. So he's going to try to track down like a historical society to see who
Oh.
would have been in the Queen's court in that year or those years to see if we can track down and figure out who this woman is.
Watch it's gonna say Chasta Freeman.
Dude, if it does, I will puke. I will die. What?
Because like you're really you passed away and you just got reborn or what's the
I got reincarnated as myself.
Yeah, like there's a movie God or what was it, like some vampires, like I seen some vampire stories where it's like, you know, they they've had like 5-10 different wives or husbands because
Yes.
they eventually get old and they got to move on to the next
Yes.
one. So
that's this moment.
Are you gonna disappear from our lives in like 20, 30 years? Like, I gotta move on.
I know. I gotta move on. Time to move on.
Yeah.
It was the end of The Shining, whenever there's that moment and he sees himself. It was
Whoa.
idea.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. I know, right? 50 years after the fact or whatever.
It's like that with The Sixth Sense. The kids
Yes.
or Bruce Willis is a ghost. What?
Spoiler!
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So anyways, that was the quick recap of our event. It was unbelievable. But then a lot of people were there all the way through what? If I got reincarnated as myself, that would be the worst. No.
Yeah. You want to you would think you would reincarnate something completely different. I mean,
hopefully something good. I mean, I think if that's a karmic thing, if you believe in such thing, I think
I would be a dog,
thing.
Man. You got worry about nothing. Just lay in the sun all day, poop on the lawn.
Get poop on the lawn, get some tummy scratches. You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah. Go find some bitches.
Yeah. But next time, if you ever come to New Orleans with us, which you desperately need to, and it would be nice for you to come with us when you can we can have time together, because that was the only hard part is like we didn't get a lot of time with everyone.
Okay, because that's my thing. I've been in New Orleans 3 times. First time for the Super Bowl, the Niners versus the Ravens, which I didn't actually go to the game, but we did the whole like week of broadcasting.
Media,
Yeah, and then I went for morning show boot camp, so that was like a radio convention. And then the third time was WrestleMania. So every time I went,
it's always been work.
A big event, and there's like itineraries already kind of planned out, and just didn't really have much time to like maybe explore and be a true tourist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I love to go back and like do things outside of like Bourbon Street, because I've done Bourbon Street 3 times. So it's like, okay, something
and there's
else.
so much more. Like, we're not even Bourbon Street people. I mean, when people, family or friends come down there, I get a purple drink in this man ASAP. I know, Michaela, he needs a purple drink stat. Where we go to a place called Lafitte's on Bourbon, but that's at the end of Bourbon. It's not the Bourbon you're thinking of. It's like a totally different thing.
Okay.
And that's about as far in as we go, or we'll walk it when people want to check it out, but it's not for us. There's so much more to New Orleans than that. I want to take your ass on a swamp tour. I want to take you out to see the gators. That is fun. That is super fun.
Shit. I'll have to wrestle gators.
Our guide this time like leaned down and kissed this gator on the nose or the snout, whatever it's called, and I was like, dude, you are out your mind.
I was like, I'm a little teapot short.
Tip over into the swamp. Bye-bye, Huey.
I'm like spinning around. Jesus.
Spins you all the way down to the ground.